You have folders of transcripts, spreadsheets of test scores, and observation logs. You must forge this raw data into a coherent scholarly argument. This process requires a clear distinction between results and findings. Results are the direct, uninterpreted outputs of statistical tests, the means, standard deviations, and p-values produced by your analysis. Findings are the substantive outcomes. This is the interpreted meaning extracted from those numbers, the patterns uncovered in response to your research questions. The primary task of Chapter 4 is to build a logical bridge across this gap, transforming numerical results into substantive findings. While a novice might simply list every statistic they collected, an expert researcher engineers a highly structured argument. Mastering this structural transition is the mechanism that turns a data dump into a defensible master-level thesis. The unbreakable macro rule of this chapter is organization. Structure your text strictly by research question rather than by the methodological instruments used to collect the data. This ensures that every statistical table or interview quote serves as direct evidence to answer a specific query. Take, for example, a study investigating whether Facebook-based peer commentary improves student writing accuracy more than traditional paper and pen feedback. To present the quantitative data for this question, we use the Swales and Feek 3-move structure. This is the rhetorical engine for presenting numerical evidence. This table shows pre-test and post-test scores. Move 1 is location, direct the reader and state the baseline. Move 2 is highlighting, extract the most significant outcome, the significant difference. Move 3 is implication, explain the educational meaning and practical advantage. Stopping after move 2 results in a descriptive chapter. Without implication, your data exists in a vacuum. Applying this 3-move framework forces static numbers to actively support your academic claims. When analyzing interview transcripts or observation logs, your presentation moves from statistical outputs to thematic patterns. The first step is identifying and precisely defining the thematic header so the reader understands the scope of the evidence. Second, provide the evidence using unedited verbatim quotations. The participant's exact words are the evidence. Researcher paraphrasing can weaken the claim. Third, interpret the quote. Explicitly write how the student's words validate the theme you established. In a mixed method study, you must lock these statistics and quotes together through a process called integration. This bar chart shows the Facebook group improved significantly more. It answers the what. The interview data reveals the mechanism. Students accessed feedback anywhere. This answers the why. Finally, draft an integration statement using the why mechanism to explain the what statistical outcome. Integration occurs perfectly when your qualitative phase successfully exposes the hidden behavioral machinery that generated your quantitative results. After presenting findings, you enter the discussion section. Here, you move from explaining isolated data to arguing for its broader impact on the field. Move 1 restates the principal finding clearly. Use accessible language and omit raw statistics or table references in this section. Move 2 evaluates the finding against prior literature. State explicitly whether your results confirm, extend, or contradict specific studies reviewed in your literature review. Move 3 explains complexities. If your data presents unexpected anomalies, theorize how contextual factors or a digital novelty effect might have influenced the outcome. Move 4 acknowledges limitations. Identifying constraints like a small sample size or a specific institutional context demonstrates scholarly rigor and awareness. Move 5 articulates implications. Propose concrete changes to teaching practice, curriculum design, or future research based on what you discovered. This level of detail is more effective than vague attributions like claiming your findings agree with previous research without naming specific sources. Executing this 5-move structure connects your localized experiment to the established body of peer-reviewed research. This architectural journey must be completed for every research question in your study. When you multiply this structure across each question, you build a comprehensive and rigorous chapter. The transition from results to findings and from findings to scholarly contribution is what defines a successful thesis chapter. A committee does not award a degree for the sheer volume of data collected, but for the clarity of the argument built from it. The strength of your thesis depends on your ability to engineer evidence that directly answers your research questions.